Hello, welcome to this Ubuntu testing day. Today we will be talking about Lubuntu, which is a lightweight flavor of Ubuntu. Here with us is Simon from the Lubuntu team. I'm Leo Arias. I work on quality on Snapcraft, and also here with me is Kyle. So why don't you guys introduce yourself, please?
Sure, I'm Kyle Fazari. I'm on the Snapcraft team. Most of my work revolves around the Snap developer experience and robotics enablement in Snaps and Ubuntu Core. Simon, welcome.
Hi, I'm Simon Quigley. I'm the Ubuntu Release Manager, or Lubuntu Release Manager.
Great, thanks for coming. And Simon does a little of everything on the Ubuntu community. So thanks a lot for your work and thanks for talking to us today. So if you are watching this on ubuntuonair.com, there's a chat box on the bottom of the page. You can go there and ask your questions. We will read them to Simon as he's talking to us about Ubuntu. And the idea here is just to have a relaxed conversation about cool software projects. Today we chose Ubuntu because they are doing very interesting things and they are working on the upcoming release for October. So there are many things that people can do to help them. Before we dig into Ubuntu, there are also many other projects that are in active development, and we have a few calls for testing. So Kyle, why don't you let us know about that?
Yeah, okay, so there are a couple of things. Some of them are snaps, some of them are not. The first one is Snapcraft, actually. 2.31 is available both in proposed for Xenial, Yakety, and Zesty, as well as a snap in the beta channel. This one is the first release in a while because we ran into a conflict with the old click packaging that we had to work through. So 2.30 was never even released all the way back. So 2.31, check it out. MuseScore, it's at 2.1.0 is in the beta channel. That's a snap. This is not a snap, but something that we would love some help with. Snapd on Raspbian. There's a forum post out for that. Love some help testing that out. Nginx RTMP, that's a snap, and that's in the beta channel. Parity and Parity Bitcoin. Leo, I don't actually know the difference between these two, but they're both in Edge. Is that right?
Yeah, they just enabled the continuous delivery to Edge. So every time they make a change in master, if you have it installed from Edge, you will get automatically the newest changes, and then you will be able to test what's coming on the new release. The difference is that Parity is for Ethereum blockchain and Parity Bitcoin is for the Bitcoin blockchain.
Okay, gotcha.
Very cool projects to try.
There's another one. James is working on integrating Snapcraft with GNOME Builder. We'd love some help testing that out. It's in a PPA there. There's a forum topic for that. And finally, Core. There's a new version of the Core snap in the candidate channel that we'd love some help checking out. And that's everything.
Thanks. And if you want to help, but you don't know where to get started, you can join us on rocket.ubuntu.com. There's a lot of funny things that we can do here, making new packages, test the existing packages. You can learn about Snapcraft itself, about snaps, or about different random projects that are getting into the store. So rocket.ubuntu.com, and all these calls for testing are made on the forum. So that's forum.snapcraft.io. All good with the announcements. So I guess we can dig into Lubuntu. Why don't you tell us what's Lubuntu? What's the idea of the project, Simon?
So right now, with Lubuntu, the goal of the project was to create a lightweight operating system. When the project was created, the best desktop environment we could do that with was LXDE. So that's how Lubuntu kind of coined its name. It's sort of part being the lightweight Ubuntu distribution and part of it being the LXDE Ubuntu distro or Ubuntu flavor. So I became the release manager of Lubuntu in February, and since then I've been working on progressing our LXQt transition. So an upstream LXDE, the initial plan was for, as far as I remember, the initial plan was to just convert everything to Qt or Qt. I use the terms interchangeably. And just
Don't we all? Yeah.
but just go with LXQt. But now that upstream is saying, okay, we're going to continue to maintain LXD and LXQt, well then we're sort of still going with LXQt. So the reason why we're looking at LXQt is because LXDE is a pretty old desktop environment. It's based off of a lot of GTK2 libraries, and the plan is not to port any of that to GTK3. So, and we have GTK4 already in the works, and so it's really wouldn't, it'd be lost progress if we're now converting to GTK3. So
upstream is going to maintain both the GTK2 version and the Qt version?
I believe they have a couple common people working on a couple of common elements, but for the most part, they're separate teams at this point. So with the history of LXQt, basically that was derived from the Razor Qt project and LXD, so it's sort of a merge of both of those projects. So if you've ever used the Razor Qt desktop environment, it looks really familiar. And from what I've seen in screenshots, it does strike a resemblance. So so basically, I've been working on, well, in the Yakety and Zesty cycles, the work we did on that was mainly focused around sort of discussing the default applications, sort of discussing how it would be implemented, that sort of thing. And there's still a couple elements that we haven't necessarily figured out yet, like we don't have a Qt web browser that we'd like to, or not a web browser, we have Qtzilla, a Qt, that was the mail application. I think the only one that we're looking at the moment that would be ideal for us is Strohita, but that's not necessarily packaged yet. And from what I've had conversations with the debbing people, they said they don't want to package it because it's unstable enough that they wouldn't use it. So a lot of this transition is looking at what we have in GTK2 applications and GTK3 applications and figuring out, what we can make a Qt application, because the initial goal, like when I first joined the project, we wanted to keep all of our images to like a CD size. So that meant not bundling every single library, not bundling Qt, not bundling GTK all in one thing, because we had to save disk space. But now that it's not necessarily manageable at this point. So part of that is trying to not have to have GTK libraries on the image and installed when a user installs them. A user can feel free to install any GTK libraries they wish, but there's a little bit of an additional overhead if you're installing an image that has a bunch of different libraries on there just for one application, if you know what I mean. So,
well, and you want sort of a similar look and feel to everything as well.
Yeah, that as well. Yeah. So basically,
I think at this point, CDs should be bigger. That's the only solution.
So, right now, well, last cycle I was sort of working to get some ISOs that we could use to, to run on a system and just test this new flavor out. I met a couple roadblocks in there because the build infrastructure for Ubuntu, the way that the images are built, a lot of the infrastructure is very poorly documented, if not documented at all. So I had to go through searching through commit history when Ubuntu mutated their image editions, that sort of thing, and I figured out. So we had all the tooling in place, but when the tooling was looking at, okay, I'm looking at these tasks that task cell is generated, and it was specifying the wrong task. So we had a whole big complicated thing with that because I didn't know 100% what I was doing because it's poorly documented and it's totally new to me. So we finally got the images sorted out like what was that, a month or two ago. It feels like that already, but where we finally have something where a user can install. So starting out, that image was it would not even boot up to an actual a desktop. It would boot up to like an X session error, and so we've sort of evolved that more. And the goal is to land a lot of things for Alpha 1. But I'm just going to screen share my blog post here. So this is the blog post that I wrote May 31st. It's 16th today. And so this is sort of what's my work in progress here. So right now, well, before, when I wrote this blog post, at the time of writing this blog post, the thing with the images was, and it would not only not boot to an actual graphical session, it would take about 5 minutes to boot on laptops because it's looking for a wired connection to connect to, but there would be no wired connection. So I had to, on the image, add Network Manager and Network Manager GNOME until we can figure out a sufficient Qt Network Manager front end. And so basically that's what I ended up doing to fix this little problem here. The theming of LXQt, that's one more thing that I have to. So we got it booting. We got it booting on laptops. I tested on my laptop yesterday or the day before. It works if you just add Network Manager to the seed. So here's what it should look like. This right here is what the image should look like, customized completely. You have Koopzilla here, open to our website. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, Huffed, and QTerminal right here. And this is pretty much how it's customized. But if you look over here, this is a work in progress because when just booting up the image, this is what you're faced with. So it doesn't have any of our, if you look at this has the Lubuntu logo. This has different theming applied to it. The Ubuntu text, the Ubuntu fonts on here. Well, this is just, let me just try opening up Koopzilla here. That the fonts and stuff are that open box theming right there is not consistent. So that's been one thing that I've been wanting to work on. So the deal with that is in the packaging for this. The way that the default settings are defined is by an environment variable, and it'll specify when booting the image. Here are the settings that you load for the user, and the support for that was buggy in Qt, so they had to, in LXQt upstream, they had to work around it in the packaging, which didn't work in Lubuntu's packaging. So, but the LXQt people did work upstream in Qt to get the support better baked in, and that lands by default in Qt 5.9. So I've sort of been depending on Qt 5.9 for it to land so that the desktop can look like this instead of looking like this when it boots up. So that's one thing that I also sort of outlined in my blog post, is that I'm working on the LXQt built against Qt 5.9 because that was released. So yeah, if I go over here, we're working in a Qt staging PPA. That's my personal one. Here's the CI train one. So we're working right now and making sure these all can build. And once those are all built, we rebuild everything against it. So I'm working with the Ubuntu team to get Plasma built against it, and then obviously LXQt. And then when that lands, it gets in the archive, and then hopefully, ideally, from there we will have default settings that work. If not by default after the Qt 5.9 lands, then it'll be a lot easier to get that working. So that's one thing that I've been sort of waiting for.
So much work. Is Qt 5.9 going to be the version used on Ubuntu too?
Yep, we're planning on landing that in Ubuntu Artful. In the archive within the next, my personal goal, although I think this is a little ambitious here, is to get it before Alpha 1, but that's probably not going to happen. Judging by the fact that last time that they did the Qt transition, it took about a month to get everything through proposed. So it takes a while, but yes, part of this is going to be making sure Plasma works in it, and then once that lands, I'm not sure if they're going to want to land that in their backports PPA or not, but it will be built again. Plasma will be built against that in the development release. Yeah.
We have some questions here. Kyle, why don't you read them?
Sure. So the first question is from Coda Europe, and there are 33 undecided bugs in the Lubuntu packaging project in Launchpad, and he's wondering how he can help get them allocated the correct importance.
Well, the thing right now with the bugs in Launchpad is I personally am only a member of Bug Squad, and I'm not a member of Bug Control, so that restricts my permissions a little bit when I want to go through and triage some bugs. Personally, my main focus right now has been the LXQt ISO. I know I have a couple other team members who are pretty busy this time of year that usually do this sort of thing. You have Walter, which couldn't join us today. He's after he handed me the position of release manager, he's sort of focused on QA a little bit, and making sure bugs are good to go. So for getting those, I saw the I accidentally muted myself. The way to help get those triaged is to go yourself and confirm the bug. So first you have to confirm the bug, go through and look. We have a wiki page. The Ubuntu bug control people have a wiki page that shows what you should do in what case, and feel free to triage those, because I was thinking of doing a lot of bug triaging once LXQt lands, and making sure, because right now, as far as I remember, in AbiWord, our text application, it's extremely buggy, and it's a GTK2 application, and we have about I think it was a couple hundred bugs that we have to sort through, and some of these bugs are back from, I think at one point Ubuntu, the main flavor, shipped that by default, because I've seen bug reports back from 2008. So that's going to be some fun to go through. But the short answer to that is
brings memories.
Say again?
That brings memories, AbiWord.
I wasn't around here in 2008, so I wouldn't know. But yeah, I would like some help on that. So if you have any help to offer, I mean, if you have the time, that would be awesome if we can get some help with that. And
what should they do? Should they go to an IRC channel, a forum?
We have the Lubuntu Develop IRC channel, but I'm going to screen share one more time here. If I come over here we have two different pages, one that Coder Europe linked and one that we've been using. So in the Lubuntu team, we have this Lubuntu packages team, Lubuntu packaging, which is sort of a misleading name because it has nothing to do with the packaging of Lubuntu, but rather bug triage. So if you come over here, if you go to bugs.launchpad.net, Lubuntu packaging, in fact, I just quick linked it in IRC, and then bugs.launchpad.net, which you linked earlier, you can scroll down here and look at all these bugs. So for example, hey, look, there's some AbiWord bugs. But you click here, and it's just standard bug triage. So, but these are our bug lists that you should be looking at if you'd like to help us with bug triage. So.
Alrighty, we got another question. This one's from Martin. You're maintaining two images right now, one with the LXQt and one with LXTE. Is that your long-term objective, or do you plan for the LXT1 to be dropped eventually?
Well, the initial plan with this was to just have LXQt replace LXTE, and to me that sounds pretty good, because it's replacing GTK2 libraries and GTK2 stuff, outdated stuff, with LXQt. But the development team that we have is, we have 4 other team members. The person that does the main development of LXQt is sort of saying he has some reservations about doing that. So we're sort of, and he and a couple other team members are sort of saying, we should probably keep it around for a little bit. My plan would be to ship it until 1810, and then at 1810 we re-evaluate whether or not we want to have 2 images. Because right now we're probably going to want to do it for one more LTS, because it's already 1710 coming up shortly. The time goes by so fast, but we're probably going to end up doing that until 1810 is the short answer to that, is what I'm tentatively thinking. And then we will probably, from there, drop the LXDE image.
All right, sounds good. But yeah, not for sure, just sort of a reevaluation step there. Yeah.
That's sort of what I'm thinking in my head, but that's what might happen. Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, another question from Coder Europe. Have GNOME disks been tested on Lubuntu 1710? I'm
not entirely sure what the status of the QA team is for 1710 testing right now. I'm thinking, because every time I go to use a Lubuntu image, if I just take an image, I'm almost most of the time using GNOME disks. So I think it should work fine, but I haven't specifically seen anybody test it on Lubuntu 1710 specifically. Although, like I said, there's no reason. I don't think there's any reason why it shouldn't work. So.
All right. One more question from Coder Europe here. What's happening with the character map in 1710 called, oh boy, Gukar map? To be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure, because that's one thing that the development team mainly looks at, and when they chose applications, that's part of what they chose. But I'm not entirely familiar with that application specifically. I thought it was still shipped as part of Lubuntu, but to be honest with you, I'm not sure what the status of that is. Although I'm sure if you hop in the Lubuntu Develop channel, the other team members probably know the status of that a little bit better.
Yeah, that would be great. If you are interested in Lubuntu and helping in any way, just jump there and say hi. They will have something interesting for you to do, for sure. Simon, you said you were going to tell us how to install this new image, how to help on
Oh, yeah. Real quick, before I give instructions on installing it, there's one more little errata item that I forgot that I didn't get to mention before. So if I go over here back to my blog post, so let me just let you guys see for yourself here. So if I just come over here to this one with the good theming, so let's just click on install Lubuntu Next 1710. So you can probably tell what's wrong with this ubiquity right here. There's Ubuntu 1710. There's a Ubuntu logo, and if I just click continue here, there's a couple more spots where it does say Lubuntu, or where it does say Ubuntu. So if I just click install, it's literally the Ubuntu installer, but with some text changed. And my goal is to work with the Ubuntu team on this to see if we can make the Ubiquity front end that's cute a little bit, less Ubuntu hard coded, because right now, it's.
So you've actually changed all that you can here. Lots of this is actually hard coded.
Well, yeah, it's a lot of hard coded stuff. Like they have the Breeze theme hard coded. They have all their icons hard coded because and I don't think it's bad on their end because who would think there would be another cute?
It's very solid. Yeah, right.
You are doing a crazy thing here.
Yeah.
But this is great because it opens the door for collaboration between Lubuntu and Kubuntu, which, as you said, is something nobody talked about before.
So it's another thing that's going to be useful for when the Ubuntu Budgie people go Qt, because they're looking at going to a Qt only desktop environment. So when they have to go and touch the Qt slideshow, if I make that a little bit more agnostic now with the Ubuntu team, when the Ubuntu Budgie team comes along and wants to work with this, and they want to work with the Qt slideshow, they'll have the option to do so. So that's another upside to doing this and not just making another slideshow that's hard coded with Lubuntu stuff. So that's an option.
We have a relevant question from Martin here. Harold Sitter recently updated the KDE front end to Ubiquity for Neon. Are you aware of that?
I'm not entirely sure of what he updated. I thought I'm not entirely sure, because that's a good point. That's something I should look into. I know they had a team member in the Ubuntu team. I was around there when they converted the slideshow to all Qt 5 off of Qt 4. So I know that that's already been done, but I'm not sure what Harold did that may be beneficial. I'm not sure if he's contributed back upstream. If he couldn't just contribute back upstream, then I'm not sure what the deal is with that. But the main point in that is, if Harold has signed the I think you need to sign the CLA for this, then he'll be able to contribute it upstream. But if he hasn't contributed upstream, then the plain fact of the matter is that we can't use it.
Great. We are almost running out of time. I don't know, Kyle, if there's a nice question to finish, and maybe Simon, you can talk about the last part that you wanted to mention, and then we wrap up.
Yeah, go ahead, Simon. We're running a little on time, so.
So I wanted to quickly talk about, we've kind of addressed it a little bit, but we have a good amount of bugs that we could get help triaging. So I linked the pages before, but if anybody has the time, I think, to triage a bug, I think maybe, if it's a simple bug, 5 or 10 minutes. And it's a very easy, simple way to get started contributing to Lubuntu or Ubuntu, the community in general. I mean, I also happen to be on the Ubuntu membership board, so I think that just starting out with small contributions like that and working your way up is a really, really good way to get started with the community. If you start with bug tree, I think I joined the IRC channel, and I think I started doing some ISO QA testing, and I contributed with that. But one more main thing that I did starting out was bug triaging. So if you're looking for a quick way to contribute, quick way to help us out, bug triaging is a possibility.
I started that way too, and I agree that that's a perfect way to start learning about all the Ubuntu processes, which they may seem complicated, like what Simon is doing now. It's not very easy, but you start somewhere. You start on an easier place.
Yeah, if it is complicated and you have trouble figuring it out, feel free to either hop in the Lubuntu Develop IRC channel and wait around for someone to come around, or feel free to ping me directly if you have any problems triaging bugs. I'll be more than happy to help you out.
Okay.
So
thanks a lot. So if you want to learn more, there's the IRC channel that Simon mentioned. There's also lubuntu.me. There's your blog is actually a pretty good place to see where things are now. That's tsimoq2.net.
Yep. .net. Yep. I just linked to my blog post in the IRC channel.
All right. Thanks a lot for joining, and good luck with your artful release, which seems like a lot of work. If there's something we can do to help you, just let us know.
If you wanna help us out, let us know.
Thanks also, Kyle, for joining us. And remember that if you want to help with the other projects, go to forum.snapcraft.io or rocket.ubuntu.com, and we are around, always available for help. So next week, we have a new thing on Fridays. It's more focused on snaps, and it will be called Snapcraft Office Hours or something like that. That will be every other Friday, so no testing day next Friday. Then on the Friday, the 30th Friday, I think, we will be talking about GNOME on testing days, and then next week we will be back to talk about snaps. So hope to see you there. Thanks a lot, and have a nice weekend.
Thanks, everybody. Have a good one.